Real Plumber's ultimate plumbing maintenance guide. 1 hour or more a year can save you thousands in plumbing repairs. And here is where I'm going to show you how. And make sure you stick around to the end to hear the one that I think is the most important of all. And if you've already subscribed, hit the bell so you get notified every time we come out with a video like this. Inspect for leaks. Now, this is really one that we should be doing all the time. And I don't just mean a leak like water spraying somewhere. I mean, if you've got a faucet dripping, a tub dripping, a toilet running, you got hose bibs dripping outside, this is costing you money. And if you're losing money like that, it's just going to keep adding up. And some of these leaks can actually cause problems. So every now and then, just go out and look at your meter and see if it says that any water is flowing when you know none is. Another way you can do that is to test your water pressure. You can get a gauge at the big box store pretty easy. Go put it on your hose bib, open it up, see what your pressure is, then turn your meter off. See if that pressure drops. If it does, that tells you you've either got a leak somewhere in your house or somewhere under your house or maybe out in your yard. But it's something that's still costing you money and you need to think about looking at. Next would be a water heater flush. Now, this is something that should be done annually, and you can do this in about an hour. Really, with the right hose and things like that, and making sure you put it in a safe spot can be done easily. Now, another thing is if you've got a water heater that's a year or two old, you probably want to get a plumber to come out and check the anode rod. Really, just get them to come out and replace it, because a new anode rod after a year or two can help extend the life of your water heater drastically. Another good one is cleaning faucet aerators and shower heads. Now, if you've got a white powdery buildup, that may be telling you you need to think about treating your hard water. That's not good for anything in your house that uses water. Your washing machine, your dishwasher, your ice maker, anything that has water going through it, it's not good for it, including your tub and shower valves, the angle stops behind your toilets, things like that, and even the process of going through the fill valve in your toilet. This will clog that stuff up. But cleaning your faucet aerators and shower heads, this is going to make everything run smoother and easier like it should. Next, check for slow drains. Now, this is something you may need to talk to your kids about. Hey, when you take a shower, does the water start to fill up in the tub or anything like that? Especially if you have people with long hair. I know that's not me anymore, but I used to. But if they've got a slow drain, that water's just filling up where you could very easily get up there with possibly a plunger or maybe a hand snake and clean that out pretty easy. But remember, sometimes it can be pretty funky, so be careful up there.
Pull that.
Next, inspect your toilets. Now, you can literally go to the big box store and get those blue dye tabs to where you put it in the tank. Then you come back in 15 minutes and see if it's down in your bowl. If so, that water is leaking through your flapper, through your flush valve, and that's going to be a problem because after doing that for a while, it's going to kick back on to fill up your tank again. That's costing you money. So inspecting your toilets is something that really should be done quite often. It doesn't take very long to do it, and it's not very expensive. Examine your exterior plumbing. Do you ever walk around the house to see if you have any hose bibs dripping to make sure your hoses aren't hooked up or are hooked up, whichever way you need them done? In the wintertime, you know you definitely want to unconnect the hoses. That way they don't make your frost proof freeze up, and then you have the breaks that you have to deal with in the beginning of the spring. Next is a sump pump test. If you've got them, now most of us don't, but if you do have sump pumps, check them. Are they both working? If you have multiple, are they working? Are they working like they should be? Checking your sump pumps on a regular basis can be a difference in a flooded basement, a flooded room, or anything like that, or everything working like it should. Sometimes just a great visual inspection to make sure there's nothing in there that could damage them or clog them would be a great thing to do. And always look at any exposed pipes you have. Look under your sinks. Is anything dripping? Your kitchen sink, your lavatories, check it out. But taking a look at exposed pipes can let you know if you have something dripping slowly that could be ruining the bottom of your cabinets. Another good one is to check your main sewer lines. Now, I just like to pull my cleanouts every now and then just to look in, see if there's anything in there that shouldn't be. Do I see roots growing? Is it starting to hold water? Is there a clog out there? That's an easy way for a homeowner to just look and see if possibly they're having a problem in the yard that they aren't even aware of yet. Now, inspect your water filtration or your softener systems. And if you don't have one of those, you should think about getting one. We've installed Halo at my house and at my son's house. And the cool thing about those, 10 years maintenance free, and it's like drinking bottled water out of the faucet every day. But even better than that, it's like taking a shower in bottled water. What you can do is go to Halo Water Systems and go to their What's in My Water, click on that, and see what's in your water in your area. Some of these things will blow your mind. But if you do have one already, just check it. If it's a softener, is it full of salt? If it's a filtration system, does it look like the timer's still set? Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. These are things that literally just a quick inspection will let you know everything's okay. Review pipe insulation. If you've got insulated pipe somewhere, like we've got some in our attic. Now, I know to get up there every year and look at it, make sure the insulation is okay and there's not any problems. But doing stuff like this can help keep you from having freeze breaks later. Check your vents. Now, this is one most people don't think of, but a lot of times squirrels, birds, anything like that will get up in your vents up on your roof. This can cause sewer gas smells in the house because your vents aren't working properly, or even having the pressure sealed off like that makes it where it could suck a P-trap dry, and that's going to lead to sewer gas smells. So checking your vents if you're ever on the roof is a good thing to do. And then inspect all your shutoff valves. You just want to make sure that when you go to a faucet and turn off the valve, it turns it off. And you can do that by turning on the lavatory, turn off the angle stops underneath and see if it stops the water. Now, if you've never done this, it may not be something you want to do right now because the washer in there could be bad. But if you've got a relatively new home, go through your house every year, turn the valve off, turn it on, cycle them. It's going to make sure that if you have a problem and you need to shut off the water, you can do it. Okay, washing machine hoses. This is one of my two favorite things, washing machine hoses. They're only designed to last for about 5 years. I recommend changing them every 3 to 4 years. Most people don't change their washing machine hoses until they bust, until they rupture, flooding your house. This is something that's really is not hard to do, especially if you've been cycling your valves. You've made sure that all your shutoff valves work. That includes the ones behind the washing machine. So you turn them off, take the pressure off the hose, replace the hose, put it back. Now you're going to get some water on the floor. Just get a towel, clean it up, you're fine. That's potable water. It's good, clean water. The other thing is make sure that you can shut off the water at your water meter or in your valve box. This is something that to me is one of the biggest things. And you want to make sure you teach your children, your family members, everybody in your house how to do this. That can save you problems in the long run and make everything you do so much better. Having your kids, having your spouse go shut off the water to your house every now and then, even if it's just once a year, you know they can do it. You know they can open the lid. You know they can turn it off. That way, if there is a problem, it's not costing you money. If you've already subscribed, remember, hit the bell so you get notified every time we come out with a new video like this. And if you love this video, I really think you're going to like this one.